So yesterday, we discussed how Chuck Grassley and Mitch McConnell visited President Obama specifically to tell him to forget the Supreme Court seat. It is absolutely unprecedented. Beforehand, they were like, okay, yeah, let's meet, let's talk, let's try to work something out here, we'll come to some kind of an agreement. McConnell and Grassley go in, they're like, oh, by the way, no. Obama's like, well, what if I nominate a Republican and then you guys can vote on the Republican? No, not interested. Not interested. Somebody sent me a great tweet yesterday. It's like, what if I nominate Jesus? No. What if I nominate Zombie Reagan? No. What if I nominate a gun? No. Hey, you're Obama. We're against you, no matter what. So we're not even going to consider it. It's not even like, hey, they have this genius plan where they'll have hearings on whoever Obama picks, and they'll bring him up for a vote even. No, they're like, nip it in the bud. No hearings, no nothing, certainly no vote. That's 3 steps down the road. We're not even considering that. So they go to Obama just to tell him, this whole you do your job thing? No. How about you don't do it, and we won't do ours, and we'll call it a day. That's seriously how the meeting went. So the Hill reports today, get this, payback, quote, a group in Iowa plans to deliver more than 6,000 signatures and copies of the Constitution to the offices of Senator Chuck Grassley to protest his opposition to considering President Obama's Supreme Court nominee. Members of the Why Courts Matter Iowa Coalition on Thursday will have copies of Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution delivered to the senator's offices to send Grassley a message. Do your job. Okay, I absolutely adore this idea. They're sending 6,000 copies of the Constitution to him. Like, oh, you don't want to do this thing, which is your constitutional duty to do? Well, let us remind you here. What a tremendous idea. Because think about it. Chuck Grassley specifically, but even broader here, the Republicans, they always, time and time again, they come out there and they'll say to the Democrats, when it doesn't even apply, by the way, hey, the Constitution, man, is not debatable. It is what it is. You can't change it. You got to look at the original intent, and then that's it. Can't try to override the Constitution. What are you, crazy? You want American? You want American? Now, of course, they say that when it comes to the Second Amendment. Guns, 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 guns everywhere. Now, by the way, again, they have a wrong interpretation of the Second Amendment because it was never about an individual's right to have a gun. It was about a well-regulated militia. It says regulated in the thing. And they're like, no, you're not allowed to regulate. Why does it say regulated in the thing then? So they have a wrong interpretation of it, but they still love to say, oh, Constitution. When it comes to states' rights issues, whenever they want to do some crazy right-wing thing in a state, they say, oh, what do you mean, 10th Amendment, states' rights, we can do whatever we want. Even if the federal government disagrees, piss off, we can do whatever we want, 10th Amendment, Constitution, not debatable. But then when it's something which is so plain face in the Constitution that it smacks you in the face as you read it, they're like, no, I know that it's the president's job to appoint a Supreme Court justice. I know that we need to act on that. This is exactly what's in the Constitution, but how about no? Okay, then how about you shut the fuck up next time you try to pretend like you're in favor of the Constitution? And also, we could dig deeper on this too. These are the same guys who are like, hey, Guantanamo, more Guantanamo, send more people to Guantanamo, torture, let's torture. Okay, what about due process in the Constitution? What about habeas corpus in the Constitution? What about protection from cruel and unusual punishment that's in the Constitution? And sometimes they fire back and that only applies to American citizens, man. Well, wait a second. The right-wing mindset on how to interpret this thing is the Constitution restricts government. So if it restricts government, that means the government cannot take away due process. Due process from anybody. There is no, hey, unless or except we're talking about people who we don't like and they're Muslim or they're Arab. Well, in that case, oh yeah, fuck it. That doesn't say that. No, you made that up. So yet again, we love the Constitution, but you don't love the Constitution because you disregard it whenever it's inconvenient. The Fourth Amendment. These are the same guys like spy on everybody, take everybody's metadata, you don't need a warrant, this, that. I mean, if you read the Fourth Amendment, it's almost like the Founding Fathers had a crystal fucking ball, and they were looking forward, and they somehow anticipated computers and the internet. And they're like, hey, by the way, whenever you get any information from anybody, it needs to be a specific warrant for a specific thing. So it is obvious when you read the Fourth Amendment, you can't just spy on everybody and look at their personal stuff without a warrant. And these guys are like, no. Same thing here with this. I know the plain-faced reading of the Constitution is we got to do our fucking job. He gets to nominate a justice. We get to vote on it. But no, we're just not interested. Okay, well then here are some copies of the Constitution. And how about you shut the fuck up and you do your job? They're such hypocrites. And also, they're everybody trying to muddy the waters. And this is why the mainstream media sucks too. Because they're trying to say, well, look, we have this video of Biden saying that, hey, we should block a Supreme Court nominee when it's the Republicans in the last year. What are they leaving out? They're leaving out a very important fact there. The longest amount of time a Supreme Court justice was ever blocked by the opposition party is a little over 100 days. Obama's got over 300 days left in his term. They're pledging to double, nearly triple the amount of time. And they're not even saying, hey, we'll hear out your nominee, we'll have hearings, or we'll have a vote. Nothing. Not an up or down vote. Nothing. So when they try to tell you this isn't historic obstruction, tell them you are factually incorrect. It indeed is. And should we really be all that surprised when we're talking about a Republican Party that broke the filibuster record under Obama and also tried to repeal and or defund Obamacare over 55 times? Don't let these guys tell you they believe in the system, they believe in the American way of government. Don't let them try to tell you they believe in the Constitution. When you do even a minimal amount of research, you find out very quickly that's not true.